if I was in school and somebody was dressed as a furry and they were biting and scratching me, I would beat your ass. That's exactly what would happen. And I wouldn't get in trouble either. My mom would take me to the...
You're a fucking moron.
Look and listen, baby, that's my philosophy.
I had to get my money's worth out of my 50-inch television. This is how I'm doing it. Maybe if I get a background and I look like a stupid cunt with a news show, you'll take me seriously. All right? I'm going to talk about politics, and listen, I don't want to wear this fucking stupid head. I don't want to come to you to talk about politics dressed as a furry. I'd rather speak to you with my human voice and my human face. But I do not think that I can do that. And maybe this video will explain why. Our story today on the Giorgio program takes place in Utah, where the political climate is totally normal.
Hey, Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution.
But before I go to Utah, we have to start in Nebraska. I'd like to introduce you to Nebraska State Senator Bruce Bostelman. Bruce Bostelman is a Republican who has the same mustache as Kip from Napoleon Dynamite, and he's equally as unnerving to look at. But that's besides the point. The Nebraska State Senate held a televised debate over a bill intended to help school children who have behavioral problems. And so during this debate, Bruce Bostelman took to the Senate floor to offer a few words about behaviorally challenged students that he was particularly concerned about. Furries.
It's called something called furries. If you don't know what furries are, it's where school children dress up as animals, cats or dogs, during the school day. They meow and they bark, and they interact with their school, with the teachers and that in this fashion. And now schools are wanting to put litter boxes in the schools for these children to use.
Yes, according to Bruce, public school children identify as cats and dogs, meow and bark, and poop in litter boxes that the public schools install in the bathrooms. Now, you might be wondering, where did Bruce get this information? Where did he research this story? He got it from a fucking Facebook post. A Facebook post that turned out to be totally fake. So fake, in fact, that Bruce had to offer an apology for bringing this bullshit to the Nebraska State Senate floor. He made a statement admitting that everything he said on the Senate floor was wrong. He became the laughingstock of the internet for a few weeks, and the story should have ended there. But Republicans had a narrative, and they took it and ran with it. There are furries in public schools. It's been over a fucking year since Bruce Bostelman did this shit, and still, right-wing media outlets and commentators have been publishing stories and hosting podcasts lamenting how public school children have been brainwashed by the radical left to identify as animals.
There are kids who claim that they are furries in this class.
They say it's an issue over students who call themselves furries.
These are the kids who identify as cats and dogs and other animals.
You know, sometimes bullying's not a bad thing.
Now, if you Google search school children identifying as animals, you won't find photo evidence of these litter boxes. You won't find video evidence of these litter boxes. You won't find fucking any evidence of these litter boxes because it's not happening, despite how frequently conservatives claim that this is happening all over the country.
It happens at colleges and it happens at younger schools. I've heard more and more reports of this.
New trend has emerged where some children believe they are animals known as furries.
Now, initially, I brushed off all of this horse shit about the whole furries in public schools, right? Because it's bullshit. What do I care? It's a slow day of Fox News. They need something to talk about. Whatever. Now, that was until recently. At a middle school in Utah, a group of roughly 75 kids and their parents staged a walkout on campus in protest of alleged furries in their middle school. The kids and the parents claimed that the elusive public school furries that nobody has documented with pictures or videos are biting classmates, scratching them, pouncing on them.
They either bite us, they scratch us, they bark at us, they run on all fours and pounce on people.
And that the principal wouldn't discipline these students because guess what? His daughter is a furry.
Why do you think the principal hasn't put a stop to this?
Because her daughter is a furry and she supports it.
Now, conservative political pundits will urge you to listen to the children. How could you not believe the innocent children?
The school district spokesperson. He says that they come to school wearing headbands. Sometimes they may have ears on them. And he's like, I just don't know if they actually think they're furries. I'm actually going to believe the students over this dude.
The school district spokesperson has issued a statement. No students, they claim, are coming to school dressed in full-body animal costumes. That's the distinction. Some come wearing headbands that may have ears on them. They claim they don't describe themselves as furries. That's not an effective denial. I believe the children.
Well, forgive me for being harsh, but these children are full of shit. I want you to pay close attention in the video interview with these students, what all of them are holding in their hands. That's right, smartphones with cameras. There was not a day that passed while I was in middle school where somebody didn't try to film a weird, cringy kid with their smartphone. All the time, if there was a fight in the hallways, if there was a kid with a Five Nights at Freddy's shirt, somebody with a smartphone was going to pull out their phone and film it and send it to all their friends and go, ha, ha, ha. So you expect me to believe that all 75 of these students have witnessed furry classmates biting and scratching and pouncing, and they witnessed the principal doing nothing about it, and not a single one of them took out their fucking phone and videoed it? And these conservatives expect me to believe that this is happening not just at this middle school, but all over the country, everywhere. And that nobody, just by coincidence, miraculously, nobody has caught it on video. Nobody has a picture of it. Now, second of all 75 of these students are not just alleging that one of their classmates is a furry who bites people. They're alleging that several of their classmates are furries who bite people, that there have been several biting and pouncing incidents. A bite looks like this. If a child got bitten, it would be incredibly easy to tell with your eyes. These kids and their parents are asking me to believe that some classmate came to school dressed as a furry and they did this and they took those grievances to the principal and the principal didn't do a thing about it. Bullshit. Local news would have pictures of the bite marks on the students. They would have fucking anything. And also, where are these bite victims? Oh, they're pouncing on people, they're biting people. Well, where are the people who they have bitten? All I see is a bunch of children chanting incoherently over one another. Now here's the crux of why I think these kids are not telling the truth. When I was in school, not even 5 years ago, when I was in public school, I knew one student who considered themselves to be a furry. And no, this was not a student who identified as a cat or a dog.
These are the kids who identify as cats and dogs and other animals.
Despite what these bimbos on the news who can't perform a Wikipedia search will tell you. This was just a student who enjoyed films like Zootopia, and they sported a tail every so often. And sure, the tail was weird, but who gives a fuck? Now, after I found out that my classmate was a furry, it didn't even take a few days before everybody in my school told me that my classmate had a fetish for animals and that they fucked their pet dog. And all the morons who I went to public school with believed this like it was gospel. And of course, none of them had any photo evidence of it. None of them had any video evidence of it. No documentation. Nothing. Are you noticing any parallels? Spare me my lived experience for thinking that these kids can't be taken at their word.
The school district says these kids are just making up stuff.
Why? Why would these kids lie about such a thing?
They want to get a lot of attention. I think they want attention.
And spare me for thinking that these conservative pundits are full of shit too. They claim that they believe children. Oh, We believe children.
I believe the children.
No, they don't. They don't believe the fucking children. They only believe the children when it gives them a good headline for their conservative talk shows. This is Megyn Kelly. She is a snobby woman who looks like she's about to complain to a Starbucks employee that they made her latte incorrectly. She claims to believe children, especially children who walk out of their schools and have examples of some of the horrifying things they've seen.
I believe the children. You guys have kids. You can tell those 11, 12, and 13-year-olds. Like, that's legit. They've got examples at the ready.
Not long ago, students across the country walked out of their schools in protest of assault weapons. And what did Megyn have to say about the opinions of the school children then?
There's something wrong with our society, and I, for one, am sick of the knee-jerk. It's the guns, get the guns. If you even say thoughts and prayers in the wake of something like this, these crazy anti-gun activists will start chastising you. F you and your constant obsession over firearms.
This is Rita Pinahi. She is a smarmy, condescending Australian lady whose voice sounds like nails on a chalkboard.
Whatever nonsense they use to justify drag queen story time for toddlers.
Not only did she believe this bullshit story, but she also blames gay people and trans people for this supposed crisis of furries in public schools.
The LGBTQIA++++ ideology is being pushed on children much younger than that.
Why do you think the principal hasn't put a stop to this?
Because her daughter.
This is Asmongold. He is a Twitch streamer. He got hundreds of thousands of views on his video where he spoke about this walkout. Asmongold is greasy and disgusting. By his own admission, he didn't clean his room for multiple years. He has Dr. Pepper stains fermenting in his carpet, and he does nothing other than watch other people's videos for a living. And of course, among other things, he claims that the children in this video have been groomed into a sexual fetish.
Is it a good thing that middle schoolers were groomed into a sexual fetish that they're now expressing in a middle school? Because if you asked me that question, I would say no. I think that's not good. In fact, I find it very bad.
It's very sexual and inappropriate. They're wearing butt plug tails.
Every single one of the kids that's doing this was groomed by an adult to do this on the internet.
Which, I think, raises a question. If these students have been groomed, who groomed them? I certainly haven't been going to public schools dressed like this. I don't know any teachers who dress like this to go to public school. Was it the internet? After all, that's where furries tend to congregate. That's where you tend to be able to find furry content. And if that's the case, what do you propose we do about this grooming crisis where the internet grooms people? Should we ban furries from existing? Should we ban school children from wearing cat ear headbands? Or should parents stop giving their children unsupervised access to smartphones? Keep in mind, these rectangles with the cameras on them that all these kids are holding are a Google search away from any porn their brains can think of. When I was in middle school, I knew kids who looked at piss fetish videos, fat fetish videos, foot fetish videos, and all of these kids had smartphones. I still used a Pantech Jest. You know, maybe if school children stumble upon inappropriate content, it's not my fault, but it's their parents' fault. Giorgio, why are you being so mean? I get it, you disagree with these people. Why are you being so mean, though? You're cursing, you're making fun of them. What necessitates this? Well, this is why. This is what these bullshit rumors result in. When you fearmonger about shit that doesn't happen, people get angry. They blame people for problems that don't exist. And then they set out to hurt those people. And these four idiots should feel totally fucking ashamed that they would spread this lie that may have contributed to all the stupidity and anger that resulted in a bomb threat to a public school. Now, the person who made this threat said that they want to rid the world of, quote, degenerates. And I wonder who that person was referring to when he said degenerates. Do you think homophobia and transphobia might have played a factor in that threat?
The LGBTQIA++++ ideology is being pushed on children much younger than that.
Listen, I never intended to make a full-length video on this furries in public school bullshit. But somebody's got to call bullshit on this bullshit. I want to take this head off. I want to speak to you with my fucking face. But I'll tell you something. If people are making bomb threats to imaginary furries, I've never gotten a bomb threat before. I don't want to know what that's like. And these four pundits, while stupid, aren't that stupid. Aren't so stupid that they don't know better. I'm Giorgio, and before you run to social media to complain about the latest case of liberal brainwashing in your public schools, you should first ask yourself if you have any evidence to support your claims, and then you should shut the fuck up!
Look and listen, baby, that's my philosophy.
You're a fucking moron.